Hello everybody, and welcome to a new edition of the Infinite Creativity Sabsang with Sab in Paris. And I'm feeling a bit pained because I've got a very purry cat who is keen to get hold of. What are you keen to get hold of? What are you keen to get hold of? You're keen to get hold of that. Now, what she has just spotted is is this, and that has been driving her nuts for a while. So I'll put her out of her misery, and now she really is going nuts. Look, quick, give it to me, give it to me. Okay, I'm going to give it to her so that put her out. Oh yeah, she's putting her claws in my claws in leg. Okay, it's done. Let me just close that as well. Close it slightly. Okay, so we're ready to go. And boy, are we going to go. I've got a lot of stuff for you tonight, folks. On today's Infinite Creativity Sabsang. Maybe I should tell you what an Infinite Creativity Sabsang is, or maybe just what a Sabsang is. You see, a satsang is a thing. This is a sabsang, but a satsang is a thing. And it's a thing where a wise person, so you can see why I changed the name, a wise person sits there and talks about something. Normally it's some spiritual thing. And then people around will listen, and then they'll ask questions. One person will ask a question, and the wise person will give their interpretation of what that might mean, or, not so much maybe an answer, could be an answer. And I like the format, but obviously I'm not some sort of spiritual guru, far from it. So I wanted to do it on creativity. So I'm going to present tons of creative stuff for you, hopefully, and hopefully a lot of it yours. If you want to give me some to show. Otherwise, I supply the creative stuff, and it's not necessarily me, it could be other people that have been creative things I've seen, and I talk about them. And in particular, questions. I would love to have your questions and comments on the topic of creativity, also productivity. If creativity is having amazing ideas and starting to produce stuff, then productivity could be producing it to the end and getting it out there. That's how I look at these two words, which I've kind of adopted. Creativity is number one. I use it everywhere. But I decided to pretty quickly adopt productivity as the half where the ideas have come and you've done something, and then the productivity bit, you finish the thing and you get it out there, because that for me is the cycle. Then you get reactions from people, and beautiful things happen. So I've got quite a few things to show you tonight. I've got a comment already, and it's hey Sab, Paris, miss you. Unfortunately I can't stay long, but I love everything you do. 𝗜𝗡𝗙𝗜𝗓𝗜𝗓, where have you been all my life? Been missing you. So I think you've disappeared. I think you've gone already. But thanks for saying hello. Really appreciate it. You are the first commenter, and maybe the last. So what have I got to show you tonight? Well, it's going to be a bit different tonight, because I'm going to introduce a new fun thing called what did I call it? Creativity Tarot Channeling or something. Yeah, Creative Tarot Channeling. So the thing is, I know some people who do these sort of tarot card things. Like they've got their cards and they shuffle them and they take them at random, and then they put three on the table in front of them, and sometimes they put fancy things on top, and then the people choose their fancy thing, and then the person reads the card and maybe some little description, and that is supposed to apply to them. Okay, so it's a sort of tarot thing. I thought, what a load of bollocks, good grief, tarot rubbish. What are we, living in the Middle Ages or what? And then I looked at their statistics, and when I had one or two people watching me, they had one or two, like 20 or 30 or 200. And I thought, maybe I need to revise my way of looking at things here. So I'm going to do a tarot. I'm going to do a creativity tarot channeling. Channeling is another thing that people who have lots of people watching them do. So there you go. I'm gonna flip this on its head, guys, and we're going to have creative tarot channeling tonight. And I've got 2 ways of doing that, and I think you might like it. Apart from that, what have I been doing this week? Well, I had let me flip over to to another view. So these are my pictures from the last week, or the last chapter, which is 9. I might look at those later on. I had a smartphone. Hang on, where's it gone? This is my smartphone group. Wow, get rid of those, couldn't I? Here's my smartphone group. This week, the challenge in the smartphone group is seasonal colours. Not autumn or spring colours, but seasonal colours, because I don't know if it's spring or autumn where you are. And we have people from the other side of the world as I speak, relatively speaking. By the way, say hello if you join and you would like to say hello and let me know you're here. That would be lovely. What's the most creative thing you've done this week is what I would like to know. Put that down a bit so I don't have too much Sabsang tattooed on my head. So if you want to join, or you're a member of the... No, actually this is wrong. This is not it at all. This is the Smartphone Photography Masterclass. That's not it. This is the Smartphone Photography Group, and the weekly theme is seasonal colours. So I would love you to send in any seasonal colours you have photographed, be it autumny or springy if you're in the Southern Hemisphere. And we had there's a lovely video. We had a great chat on the Tuesday. I do the videos on Tuesday, looking at all sorts of photographs. On Thursday, it's the creative blog and article writing group. And again, I did put the theme as being changing seasons. Post any inspired words below. So if you want to do that, go over to the creative blog and article writing group and contribute your prose or poetry. I don't mind. Short stories, memes, anything you like that is original, which you have created about the season that you're in. So it's autumn if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, spring if you're in the Southern Hemisphere. Now, in the Infinite Creativity Now group, things are going fine. I didn't manage to get much of my my newsletter out this week. I'm planning on doing a few more this coming week, and that's what this is intimately linked to. My newspaper, my newsletter goes out by email. There's a quick creativity tip or ponder in there, and then you come over to this group and you discuss it, or you just contribute your creative stuff. Okay, so that's how that works. You don't have to, get the newsletter to contribute here. Infinite Creativity Now. You create your stuff, and we'll all appreciate it. Finally, the Today's the Day group, which is wonderful, and today's picture was a picture of the Eiffel Tower being whizzed past by a crown, a stone crown, or maybe it's me whizzing past a stone crown on a metro. And the phrase that I came up with was your crowning glory. So today's the day, your crowning glory. In other words, appreciate today like it's the culmination of your entire life up until this point. Because guess what? Isn't it? So those are 4 groups I recommend you join, and we'll have fun there being creative. I'm also going to show... So in the talk we had in the writing group, by the way, was about 2 things. It was about one thing I can't remember, and the other thing was the Tao of Pooh and the Tea of Piglet, which was a very interesting book. And what they've done is they've taken Winnie the Pooh, the classic Winnie the Pooh, good old Winnie the Pooh. He sort of bumbles along and doesn't seem to be very clear on what's going on. He ponders, he has little hums. He isn't not too sure which way to go or what to do, but isn't too bothered about it. And then suddenly he finds the solution to the problem of the chapter or something like that. So a genius guy called Benjamin Hoff wrote this, And I had this many, many years ago, decades ago, in fact, and I'd lost it. And I got reminded of it, and I wanted to read about it again. And for me, Taoism, amongst the sort of organized systems, as it were, is about the best. It's the one I seem to get on best with in terms of what they seem to propose in terms of understanding the world around us, or, you know, leading a good life. In here, I think it says something along the lines of, it's like Confucianism but without the rituals and dogma. So it's just pretty cool, Taoism, if you want to check that out. And I talked all about that in the in that session. All right, so let me get on with what I'm going to talk about, which is, believe it or not, your questions. Yes, I have some questions and some comments from you, and those are going to be the first things I'm going to tackle. If you are watching on the replay, by the way, welcome, and it would be lovely to have you. So you can say hello. If you're on the replay, that's fine. You can come when you'd like, you can go when you like, there's no problem. Share your creativity, share your thoughts, ask questions, or just enjoy what I'm going to share with you. So I'm going to check out a couple of questions, actually. So for me to do that, I have to share another screen with you, which is going to be this one here. Just trying to sort myself out here. Yeah, so it's I took some screenshots. I thought this was the easiest way of a couple of comments that I had. So the idea is that you could ask me comments of any sort. I'm actually going to look at Valentina's in a second. I'm just going to look at a couple from Michelle and 𝗬𝗓𝗏. Michelle says, and I think the prompt was, tell me about your creative... Oh, hi, Yuruska. I've got Yuruska saying hello. Hello, Yuruska. In Peru. How are you doing in Peru? Ça va? Au Pérou? Qu'est-ce qui se passe au Pérou aujourd'hui? Dis-moi. So I've got, so I'm looking at these and I asked, what was your creative challenge this week? Or what creative tip do you have? And Michelle says, just do it. Play. You have nothing to lose. And that reminds me of one of my favorite invented words. And it's plurk. Because I'm never sure if I'm playing or working sometimes when I'm being creative. So I coined the term. Maybe I didn't coin it, but I don't know who else said it, if someone else said it. And it's plurk, which is a combination of play and work. So play, you have nothing to lose. That's my tip for whatever it may be worth. It's something I say, it's something Nike says, and it's become a sort of a cliche, and yet it's so true, isn't it? Just do it. And this idea of playing, this idea of if only we could treat everything like a game, the whole of life like a game, wouldn't that be wonderful? And some people can. Some people decide to, even if it's work. I don't know quite what the definition of work and play is. The only one that comes to my mind is that you're paid money to work and you're not paid, or maybe you're paid in pleasure by playing. But wouldn't it be great if, would it be great if you didn't know which you were doing, if you weren't ever sure if you were playing or working? Because some of them you got paid for, some of them you got pleasure from, sometimes both, maybe sometimes neither, for all I know. But that'd be quite cool, wouldn't it? So I tell you, one of my objectives in life is, in fact, to consider that I am forever plurking. In other words, forever doing something which is helping me to live, which could traditionally be called work, and forever doing something which I consider having fun. And if they could both be happening simultaneously all the time, I think that would be really cool. That doesn't mean that I don't want downtime when I'm not doing anything, or even times when I'm stressed and I'm really trying to, reach a deadline. That will happen. But if the background is always I wake up, what fun things am I going to do today, including things to earn my living, then that'd be amazing. So I totally agree with that tip there, Michelle. Thanks for contributing that. On a completely different note, we've got 𝗬𝗏𝗏, who might come along later, because she tends to come along a little after I've started, and is one of my dear followers who is often on these with me. And 𝗬𝗏𝗏 says, I tormented myself for 2 days. Tormented myself. What with sticking needles in your eyes and, oh good grief. For 2 days trying to rewrite a post until I just decided I will let it rest. Make that bigger. Does that work? Yeah. Until I just decided I will let it rest. I started wondering about the futility of this post until I saw your question here. Very timely. Yeah, well, you haven't given me a question, have you? But you've just said, I tormented myself trying to rewrite a post, then I decided to let it rest. Well, the thing that comes to my mind immediately, 𝗬𝗏, is I think it's great to let something rest, and I don't always manage it, but ideally my daily writing, my daily my daily Paris Photo Chronicles, the photograph and the text, ideally I have written the text and then let it rest, as you say, let it rest for a day, at least a day. Same thing for an article. So an article, I would see if I can see the cat. She polished off the pâté that I gave her, which is what she really wants. She doesn't want boring croquettes, as we call them. She wants pâté. Oh, she's sitting on my jumper. Let me just show you. That's cute. There she is. Seems to be quite happy sitting on my my woolly jumper, woolly jersey. Yeah, I certainly recommend when you write to let it rest for at least a night. I think sleeping on it is really valuable. Let it rest for a night and then come back to it. And what happens when you come back to it? Well, 2 or 3 things. You spot the spelling mistakes and the grammar mistakes. You get new ideas. You get a better metaphor or a metaphor that hadn't come to you the day before comes to you. You notice that you've used a boring adjective when you could have used a good one. You notice that you've used the same adjective twice. You quite simply come at it as though you are a new person reading something by someone else, and you see it in a different way, including what you might call flaws, but it's yours, so you can correct them or make it better, at least in your eyes. Then when you publish it, it's like you've done a run through, you've done a draft, and then you've done the final piece, and it's a really good thing to do. So I imagine that in doing that, when you come back to it, then it'll be fresher and you'll have a new idea, and that will make you feel, it might just be changing one thing, and that will make you feel, right, now I can let it go, now I can send it off, and it was worth waiting. So I'm pretty sure that would be a good thing to do. There's a second part. It said, I started wondering about the futility of this post. Well, yeah, I mean, you can. I often wonder about the futility of what I'm painting, for example. I sometimes, when I'm working on a tiny thing, as I was doing earlier today. 𝗬𝗏, I'm just talking about your question. You've just missed all of my response to it. Let me show you something that I'm working on, and I'll talk about futility. Okay, coming back in a second. 𝗬𝗏, can you talk amongst yourself, please? Right, I'm back, and 𝗬𝗏, I am actually addressing your question, strangely enough. Yes, you missed it, but I could say it again. Yeah, in the second half of your thing, it wasn't really a question, to be honest. It was just, you just said, well, you said what you said. It's on the screen. You can see what you said, so it wasn't a question. So I'm just kind of addressing it. Talking about futility, I often think that my stuff is futile, pointless. Why the hell am I doing it? And here's an example. I'm doing a painting at the moment, which is actually, I'll do something so you can actually watch me as I put this together. Okay, so it's nothing obscene here that you can see. No, so it's all white, strangely enough, and it's one of my jigsaw pieces. And okay, does that go together? That seems to go together, doesn't it? So you can actually watch me do it. Now that, can you see, has got a piece of nature on it, in it. So that goes there. So it's actually quite easy because there's lots of bits which are quite unique. So there's a bit of nature as well. It's actually a sycamore thing, so that's going to go there. So you see the sycamore thing has come together, the sycamore seed pod. And this thing here is actually part of the old railway that used to go around Paris. So that is going to go, doesn't go there, that's quite obvious. Here's a piece, and it goes like this. So this one goes here. There's a half a jigsaw piece there, so I'm looking for that, and I think it's there. Looks good. And there's a piece of natural stuff from a tree. It's fir pines actually. It's fir needles, big long fir needles, and those link up to that. Hang on, to that, if you see. And finally, there's a gap which I would think is probably that. Okay, so there is one possible configuration out of an infinite number of that. So here I am. I was talking about futility, and I'm doing this all in white. This is all in white, and you've got some words here. Can you see? There's a word there, and there's a word there, and there's another word there. Good, truth, and beauty. And that's about it. So I was asked to do one all white, and I thought, all white? I'll do one that's all white. And I thought, that's cool. I've never done one that's all white. I've done some that are black in the making, but then I thought, but I want to put some colour in my. Could I put a rainbow in every single picture? Well, not if it's all white. So I spent some time getting to the point finally. I spent some time doing this. I don't know if it's going to focus on that. Can you see that? Can you see around the edge there? Around the edge of the coin, which has my signature, is a rainbow. I should make that bigger actually. I've just realised all of this that I'm showing you, I should have showed you like that. Oh my God, good grief. I should have shown you like that, shouldn't I? Look at that, much better. Anyway, so here it is, my thing, and I did this. I put a rainbow around the outside. And I was thinking, good grief. You're 55 years old, you've got a family well, not exactly a family to support, but have I got anything better in life than to spend putting tiny pieces of coloured paint? If it wants to focus, that would be nice. Hello. Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know it focused. So, putting tiny bits of coloured paint around this thing. And then I thought, well, apparently that's what I'm doing. And I might splodge it out actually a bit. I thought I wanted to make it so discreet that when you looked at it from the front on, you actually wouldn't see the colour, but you do see it a bit. So I'm thinking of doing a kind of splodge of each colour around this coin with my signature on. So yeah, in terms of futile, well, futile is what you define futile to be. And apparently I don't define doing this futile. I do what I do. I sab. 𝗜𝗔𝗕𝗦𝗔𝗡𝗜. It's a verb. 𝗜𝗔𝗔𝗕𝗦𝗔𝗡. I sab. 𝗜𝗔𝗑𝗫, 𝗜𝗔𝗑𝗫s, and so on. So there you go. So futile. It's only futile if you decide it is. It's as simple as that. If you decide that you can't be bothered doing this post anymore and that's enough, then well, stop it and do something else. It doesn't matter. The world isn't going to collapse. So the good, the true, and the beautiful. Oh, Sab, you are a genius. Well, I'm not quite sure what the link is there. But yeah, I took those from the course that we're maybe both doing at the same time. I'm not sure. I like those. With those words, the way I understand them is beautiful is what I think is something. Good is what two people think is something. And true is what is generally something. So beautiful, I can think something's beautiful. No one else has to. No one else would necessarily. Good, you need two people to agree that something is good. If I think it's good and there's no one to who doesn't think it's so good, then it's not good or bad. It's just what it is. So good is when two people agree on something. There's a kind of shared standard. And then true or truth is what you get beyond everyone and anyone, a sort of third person thing, a certain truth, which it's true whether people like it or agree on it or not. So I like those 3 words. I thought that was quite cool. Is it going to be nice and focus on this for me? Maybe not. Anyway, it says truth. In white, on white. It's nice, isn't it? So you actually need a light and a shadow for it to show anything. I should leave that on the screen for a while, shouldn't I? The good, the true and the beautiful. You says, wow, I'm speechless, a rainbow. Kind of, yeah. And if you've just joined, I did a bit of sort of pre-ramble. And I said that I was going to do a tarot. It's a creative tarot channeling. That's what I'm calling it. So, because I realised that having laughed at people who do tarot readings, I suddenly looked at their statistics and they had about 500 more people than I ever do. So I thought, darn it, I'm going to do tarot channeling, because tarot people get loads of people watching, channeling people get loads of people watching, and I don't see why I shouldn't have loads of people watching. So I'm going to start. Well, you'll see, it's kind of fun. I'll do it in a second. And Yaruska says, yeah, sorry, just to finish that. Yeah, rainbow, what a surprise, huh? And Yaruska says, I always wondered how you can make the pieces of the painting fit elsewhere. Now I think I understand. You make the painting and lower the first row to the third row to be able to make them fit. He. Well, I don't know. I can't really tell you how I do it. You know, you just have to decide how you think I do it. Yeah, but you know, they fit together, don't they? They do fit together in one way or another. The mystery and magic of infinity squared. I will go back to another question. By the way, if you have any questions, so Despina, I think you better go back later and watch my response to the first half of your non-question. I'm going to share another thing. What am I sharing right now? So I'm going to share whenever it wants. I'm going to share another couple of questions from people. Here we are. I'm going to go back up to Valentina's. Valentina says, now this is I think it was in the Infinite Creativity group, Infinite Creativity Now. She says, and I had to read this a couple of times, see what you think. She said, my last, and she's not, English isn't her first language, I think, although I think she speaks perfect English. I'm just wondering about the word last. Is it last or latest? My last insight about creativity is that it might be worked in the center of a sacral, is it maybe sacred chakra or energy center? Perhaps some sort of energetic or hypnosis work. And then she's got 3 fish. I would incorporate several modalities together. ... I'll say why the dots are relevant. To pilot test. Let me just go to the one after that. She says, the above statement is typical spiritual channeling. So this is one of the people who has influenced me to do channeling, right? I think she really channels, whereas I'm just going to pretend to. She says, the above statement is typical spiritual channeling. And I did talk to her once, and she spent a lot of time listening to her angels, I think it was. So it was an interesting conversation. So she gets a lot of inspiration from somewhere coming through her. That's the way she sees it. So then she goes on to say, I would incorporate several modalities together, not to pilot test. Usually it works. I just need to be persistent. Usually it is known when energy flow stops. So this is pretty esoteric stuff. If anyone wants to pilot test it, who knows, you might get lucky. So I don't really understand what she's saying, but she is very connected to possibly what I might call the muse or something like that, you know. In other words, the place inspiration comes from, ideas coming through you, coming to you or coming through you. And to be honest, I used to think this was, you know, a bit nonsense, but now I agree, because where do my ideas come from? If I finish this thing, well, the fact that it's white isn't my idea, it was somebody else. The idea for the squares came through me, I don't know where it came from. The idea to put a little piece of Paris, this is a piece of wood from the sleepers of the old circular Paris railway, which is now defunct. That came to me in a flash. What a great idea, because I can actually put a real piece of Paris into a painting that you could have in Australia or wherever you live. So these ideas, I have no idea where they come from. They come, but I don't know where from. So, you know, people have different ways of saying the same thing. And I play around saying that the Eiffel Tower is my muse. I call her Lady Eiffel. And that's just as weird or not weird as anything else, anybody else's ideas. So I'm going to do something tonight which I'm calling creative tarot channeling, and I might call it something else. That was just my first thing. But to be honest, I might be having a laugh, but also at the same time, I think it's pretty valid. So we'll see where that goes. I've got this new set of cards, you see. I bought this new set of crazy, colourful cards, and they're sort of creative tarot cards, and I'm going to see how it goes. And I've also decided to do a tarot on some of my memes. So we'll see how that goes too. Right, I'll save one more question for last, shall I? No, I'll cover them all, and then you give me your own questions. So this is from Angela. It says, "Hi guys, I'm not lately in the mood to create with paintings, colours, etc. I'm not lately..." Hang on, I've got another comment. "If your sacral chakra is blocked, you don't feel creative." Oh, I see. You know, I don't really believe in chakras, but I believe that people who believe in that believe that that's true. So, you know, my issue with things like this is, as long as you believe in something, you can have a problem if it doesn't go how you want it to. Whereas if you don't believe in anything, then you don't have any of those problems. Well, that's my kind of theory. You know, the more things you adopt, the more things might go wrong with whatever you've adopted, and then you're not as happy as you could be. Having said that, I'm about to do something. Hey, maybe I should use the word sacral. That sounds kind of cool. So I'm going to do a creative sacral tarot channeling, because it's fun. I think it's going to be fun, and whatever will come out of it will come out of it, and there you go. You know, but to be honest, I'm not really attached to it, to the extent that if anyone calls it bullshit, I'll cry. So, you know, that's maybe the difference between me and someone who takes a certain system extremely seriously. I don't take much seriously, if anything. When I say that, I don't think that everything's funny. For example, I know 2-3 people close to me who have serious health problems. You know, that isn't funny. But anyway, I think I'll leave it there. You see what I mean. Despina says, "You are wisely true." Well, whatever, it's just coming through me. You realise that it's not me that is wisely true or otherwise. Whatever's coming through me is coming through me, and however you interpret that is your interpretation of it. You know, other people won't think the same as you. So I appreciate you saying that, but I will echo what other people that I appreciate listening to say, and that is, it's not them saying it. You know, it's you interpret what someone says in your way. And God, it makes me think of that word that just makes me cringe, resonate, you know. But if you resonate with it, then cool, that's great. And if you don't, then go and do something else. So I appreciate you, Despina, for saying that. I'll leave that one up for a while as well, shall I? I'm kidding. Yeah, poor Angela, you've you've broken your kneecap. Patella, is it, I think? So I get tired because she says broken leg. For me, a broken leg is probably a broken bone, like the thigh bone or the shin bones. But yeah, I mean, basically, wow, you can't move for about 40 days, I think. 40 days penance, is it? For your sins, you see? Whatever you did, you shouldn't have. So when my leg is getting well, I will find the mood again, I'm sure. My most and largest creative project in time and volume was the renovation of my home. So that's probably been kind of scuppered, hasn't it? Scuppered. In other words, put on hold for a while. I painted, restored and changed all the furniture of my apartment. Wow. And the decoration too. I collected other old items, frames, shutters, lighting fixtures, etc. and processed them all. It all lasted about 3 months and I enjoyed it incredibly much. That's fantastic. I had little help from my hubby, like he did 95% of it. No, I'm kidding. Maybe, probably the other way around. Only to the big furniture painting. The painting, not the techniques. Now I live in my new home, made by me, and you can't even leave. Really, it's a big, big pleasure. Well, that's great. Thanks for sharing that. If you have any other questions, then put questions or comments about creativity, productivity, curiosity or infinity, put them in the chat, wherever you're watching me. Hello, Sab. Hi, Thomas. How are you doing? Hi, Sab, 𝗜𝗡𝗙𝗜𝗓𝗜 and everyone else here. Just a short hello from Thomas. Hello, Thomas. Good to have you here. For as long as you feel like you can stay. Right. Maybe I should do the tarot thing now. Would that be fun? Well, I've actually got somebody watching. So I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm going to move this away. This little painting. That's going to go over there. Thomas, you just missed an extremely interesting discussion on my latest painting, which is looking like this. It's all white, except for this bit here, which is kind of fun. A little rainbow snuck in there. Interesting little words hidden in there, if you can see them. Right, now here we go. And hopefully this will be the most interesting part of the evening. So I've got this packet, you see. Here it is. It's exciting. Well, the cat thinks it's really exciting. Look, check out the cat. Oh my God, yeah, it's so unbelievably exciting, isn't it, cat? Piggy, do you think it's exciting? Okay, I'll come back to adulthood for a second. So here we are. I'm doing an unenveloping, as they call it. What could there be in here? I wonder. Oh. Da, 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 da. And it's it's a pack called 𝗜𝗡𝗙𝗜𝗓𝗜𝗓, and they are called creative cards. Is that right for me or what? Is that right for us? So I'm going to open them up, and I don't know how to play this thing, but I'm going to just play it by ear, and next week maybe I'll do it a bit more officially. So I assume you take the plastic off. I'll show you this so it's marginally less boring. Shall I ruin the pack before I even open them? Okay, here we go. We're getting there. What could they be? You still have a cat. Yeah, the spinner says, you still have a cat. Is it temporary or permanent? I think it's permanently a cat in this lifetime anyway. Although cats do have 9 lives, don't they? So you never know with cats. A bit like Winnie the Pooh. You never know with Tiggers. So Tigger, are you permanent or temporary? She's temporary. I'm cat sitting for my son. So here it is, folks. And we're going to play this tonight, okay? You, me, and you, and a cat named 𝗜𝗡𝗙𝗜𝗓𝗜𝗓, which means blackberry. Right, I'm going to read it to you, and then, you know, we're going to discover this together. I've literally, as you can see, I've just opened it. It says, 𝗜𝗡𝗙𝗜𝗓𝗜𝗓 is a deck of 78 cards and tales for creativity. It helps you find new ideas, cure blank page syndrome, and get inspired. Whoopee! Each card is designed, maybe I can show it to you and read it. We can read it together. Focus. Focus. Each card is designed using the principles of Gestalt psychology and based upon the classical tarot's archetypes. Tarots, I'm going to become a tarot reader. Get that. Get in. This one says, I like those cards. They are on my to buy list. Ah, you don't have them. Excellent. Well, this is what they look like. Okay, so it contains 78 cards and tails and the guide for creative readings. Isn't this going to be fun? All right, so I'm going to take them out. You know, without further ado, as they say. There's the little booklet, creativity cards, and it says, Queste carte sono la bussola di un mondo chiamato intuizione. My God. You probably think I've been speaking Italian all my life, don't you? These cards are the compass to a world called intuition. Intuition, intuition, intuition. More plastic to open, and I don't want to damage them this time, so I'm going to take it easy. This is the one that's on the outside. Let's just check that out. It looks like something from the Garden of Earthly Delights by Bosch, doesn't it? So I'm going to remember that one. That's going to be my special card, I think. All right, so let's open it. I start opening these. My theory is working, and I've got more people watching now than up until this point. So maybe this will be a good thing to do. Oh God, I'm turning into a tarot card weirdo. Right, so on this side, they're all the same, and they have a kind of spooky sort of Kabbalistic what do you call them? Pentangle or something, except it isn't. On that side, and on this side, lots of wonderful pictures. Oh my God, look at that. It's really cool. It's really nice. So I've had the idea of making my own. I've got my own, which I'm going to use memes for a set, because this woman that I watch, that I laughed at and then got jealous because she's got more people watching her than I do. She's got about 2 or 3 packs like this. So she does one from one pack, one from another. And I've got one pack, I've just showed it to you. But I've also got my memes, my creativity memes. So what I'm going to do is ask you to give me a number between 1 and something. And you give me that number, and that's the meme you've chosen. And we read it together, and we get meaning from it. These go up to... It's a bit complicated, actually. I think there's 2 parts to them, and I'm not quite sure what to do. I just don't know what to do. I'm sorry, I'm flicking through them here. Basically, you have to choose one and then let it speak to you. So I'm just wondering how to do that. I'm just going to try and... Okay, there's where it starts. These ones got numbers on, you see? 101. 205. There obviously aren't 200 or 300. That's just the way they've done it. 301. This is just to give you an idea of what they look like. 311. Okay, so those are one part, and the other ones have the numbers in Roman numerals from 1 to 22. Oh my God, isn't that beautiful? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do it my way, right? I'm going to shuffle them. Okay. This is what she does. And the woman that I watch, called Crystal, what a cool name for a tarot reader, Christelle. She does this, right? And occasionally one falls down, and she says, "Oh, well, that one's been chosen, so maybe I'll do that," right? Oh, one has fallen. One has fallen. So we'll take this one. I won't show you what it is, all right? And then I'm gonna spread them out in front of me, okay? Just like she does. I'm gonna spread them out. Okay. There we go. There we go. I've got a comment. Comment's coming in. Hang on, what's the comment say? Comment says, you surprised me. You are a tarot reader. Tell me what I'm thinking. You're thinking, what is this idiot doing, for crying out loud? What's he going to come up with next? Well, did I get it right? Shuffle them. What's her name? I need to watch her too. Yeah, maybe. Okay. So this is what I do now, right? I say, okay. No, that's my keyboard. Right. Which one is speaking to me? Speaking to me. Speaking to me. I feel one speaking to me. I'm doing this blind, you see. This one is speaking to me. Here it is, here it is. Okay, this one. Okay, and this one. I'm not looking. Anyway, even if I was looking, it wouldn't make any difference because they're face down. Okay, so I've got 3 there. I mean, is this amazing radio or what? So I've got 3. Right, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put them in front of me. Okay, there we are. There they are. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put, this is what this woman just doesn't, she does the first bit, but she doesn't do a second bit, which would be cool. Hang on, let me get rid of that. Yeah, so I'm gonna put something on them and you choose the thing, okay? Now this one, this is an stone. So I'm gonna do, this is an amazing blue woo-woo stone, okay? It's absolutely gorgeous. Incredible blue. I think it's natural. I don't think it's sort of plastic or anything, or resin. So it's a beautiful blue stone. I'm going to put that one on the right card as I'm, okay, the blue stone. Right, now this, let me take this, let me take this shell. No, it's a prehistoric mini dinosaur turd. And I'm going to place this on the left card as I'm looking at them. Okay, there we go. Okay, placed it on the left card. And in the middle, I'm going to put my favorite stone of all time. And Despina says, you tell a reading for me and ` Yeah, okay. But you have to choose your thing, right? And this is my favorite stone of all time. In fact, I got this, not this one, but I got the same stone in Australia when I was 9, and I fell in love with it because it does this amazing thing. Look, I don't know if you can see. Can you see it changing? It'd be nice if it was focused. Focus. Anyway, it doesn't want to focus, but there you go. So it's, oh God, it doesn't want to, does it? So there, it's focused. It's tiger's eye, and look how it changes. Isn't that beautiful? So, you know, I mean, I'm not into woo-woo, but I am into beautiful stones. My God, I love them. Absolutely love them. So this is tiger's eye. So tiger's eye is going in the one in the middle, okay? By the way, cheers. What's your mug looking like at the moment? Mine is lizards. Very colourful lizards. Very beautiful mug. Absolutely beautiful mug. And look, it's got lizards on the handle. And at the risk of pouring my drink all over my computer, it's got lizards inside too. Is that cool or is that cool? Okay, so here we go. What I want you to do is choose, and I'm going to show you. This is what the woman doesn't do. This is what Crystal doesn't do. I've got other things, you see, for other times. She doesn't show you them. So, do you choose the blue stone, the tiger's eye, or the prehistoric mini dinosaur turd? It's up to you. You choose, okay? You choose, and I'll let you think for a minute. Which one are you choosing? Give me a chance to scratch my nose. Do you choose the blue? Do you choose the tiger's eye? Or do you choose the mini prehistoric fossil? Okay. Yoriska's chosen blue. Despin has chosen the tiger's eye. Thanks for playing along, guys. Now, there's some of you watching. What do you other guys choose? Come on, play the game. If there's a few of you watching, I'm not going on until you tell me which you choose. Have you chosen? What is it? Okay. Now, I don't know why you chose it. So let me start. Can someone choose the prehistoric dinosaur turd so that I can do that one as well? All right. So this one is the blue one. Yoriska blue. Okay. So I'll show you. I'm taking it. Now I'm going to take this here, right? And I'm going to show it to you. So this is it. Here we are. I think it's this way up. There you go. So what does that say to you? Now the thing is, I haven't read the booklet, so I don't know what to do. All I'm saying to you is, what does this suggest to you? What does it say to you? Does it talk about creativity? Does it talk about any aspect of your life that you can imagine? That would be really interesting to know. Dinosaur poop. Diane's gone for dinosaur poop. Oh, hang on. So This is turning out to be better than I even imagined. So Thomas is going for prehistoric dinosaur poop. Diane's going for prehistoric dinosaur poop. Well, prehistoric is kind of dinosaurs, isn't it? And Gallery, I don't know who you are. Gallery, hang on. Gallery 212. I don't know who you are. If you give you, I mean, I can call you that if you like. Mollusk fossil, excellent. Okay, so we've got one for everyone. And what have we got here? Despina saying a wounded cockroach. A wounded cockroach, okay. Does that say anything to you in terms of cockroaches? I'm making this up. Cockroaches, how could that be a symbol for your life? What does the cockroach represent, perhaps? It goes further. There's a booklet, and you get a story. Okay, so can you give me the time to check that out? So in this little booklet, the first time I'm doing it, it's so exciting. It's all in Italian. This could be slightly less. Here we are. Okay. So it's got all sorts of instructions, you see, but I don't know them, so we'll do that next time. So I'm just going to read this little story, and what does that say to you as well? All right, so it's very short. Look. So I'm going to show you this, and you can see what. I'll just take wounded. The cockroach is a survivor. How about that? Français, s'il vous plaît. Français, s'il vous plaît. Ok, je vais essayer. Quand c'est le tien. Okay, so the story is this, and I think the idea is you relate this or the card or both to any aspect of your life which might be useful, and do it in the context of creativity. Okay, she walks by the gambling tables, absorbed in. I'll start again. She walks by the gambling tables, absorbed in her thoughts, careless. And with the same carelessness, she walks in the rooms of brothels and through ill-famed lanes, young and pure, with eyes misted over, with a heavenly dimension. She walks like a star in the night sky. Which sounds like absolute gobbledygook to me, but I'll read it again. Shall I? She walks by the gambling tables, absorbed in her thoughts, careless. And with the same carelessness, she walks in the rooms of brothels and through ill-famed lanes, so like bad streets, young and pure, with eyes misted over, with a heavenly dimension. This is translated from Italian, so I think we have to be a bit generous in our interpretation. She walks like a star in the night sky. Take the space you need. That's what it says at the end. There's a kind of message. It says, take the space you need. So that is for you, Despina. And you might think it's a cockroach. You might think that there's someone... Rita Hayworth cockroach. I don't know if I will buy them. You're more inspiration for me. Okay, well, you can see them. I might do this every week. It could be fun. Yeah, so for me, looking at this, I'm not sure about that story. I guess, it'll come with time. Take the space you need. Take the space you need is the message. Apart from the story, which is slightly strange, but then maybe the stranger the better in terms of the imagination, right? Take the space you need. Does this say anything to me? That was for Yari. That was for 𝗬𝗓𝗏. 𝗬𝗓𝗏 chose the blue. Oh, I'm sorry, 𝗬𝗓𝗏. This has all been in vain, hasn't it? So 𝗬𝗓𝗏, this is for you. And the message is, the story's a bit complicated. C'est un peu compliqué l'histoire. Mais ce que ça dit là, à la fin, c'est take the space you need. Prends l'espace dont tu as besoin. Okay? Tu as besoin de l'espace. Prends l'espace dont tu as besoin. Donc, peut-être tu dois t'éloigner un peu des autres. Peut-être tu dois aller dans les grands endroits où ton esprit peut se balader un peu. Je ne sais pas. Et ça, est-ce que ça te dit quelque chose? Est-ce que ça te parle? Est-ce que ça te donne des idées pour être plus créatif ou productif ou je ne sais pas? C'est à toi de décider. Okay. Then we have the second one. I'll go for the tiger's eye. Now, tiger's eye was Despina. So, tiger's eye. Here it is. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so the tiger's eye is this. Wow, that's kind of cool, isn't it? Ah, I like that. I shouldn't say anything, should I? To not colour your interpretation of it. So that is the picture. And I guess it's that way, not that way. What does that say to you? Looks like there's some sort of water here, which is pouring out there, going into this little pool, filling up this jar, which is spouting the water up there, which is landing back in the thing again. Interesting image, isn't it? Does that say anything to you, Despina, and anyone else who chose that? Let me tell you. So it's number 10. So let me tell you the little story. And the little story says, are you ready? Here we go. The fountain of ideas. Merci, Sab. Oui. Okay, Yaruska. Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire pour toi, Yaruska? Okay, so this one is, the story is, he reaches land on a small boat, dressed with a worn tunic. So that's old clothes. He says that he has been a merchant, though now he is an apprentice carpenter. In the space of a year, he becomes the greatest joiner in the village. A joiner is someone who works with wood and makes things in wood, like for houses and things. So in a year, he becomes the greatest joiner in the village, rich and respected by everyone. Then he takes off his expensive clothes. He wears the old tunic that he has kept, and he puts out to sea on a small boat. So he's taken off his rich clothes. He has the old tunic that he's always had, and he goes out to sea in a small boat. When he reaches land, he says that he has been a carpenter, though now he is only an apprentice painter. Well, and the words that it says at the bottom are spin the wheel, spin the wheel. So that's an interesting story. I'm not quite sure what to do with these. Maybe I should have another set, which I also add. So there's a little story about a man. He keeps changing jobs, goes away, comes back and says he's something different, becomes successful in that. Then when that's finished, he goes away and does something else and comes back and claims that he's an apprentice again. So there must be some sort of message in there somewhere. And this cycle of the water going round and round and round, does it mean that we're in a constant cycle? We can reinvent ourselves whenever we want? Interesting. And I've got Despina says the fountain of ideas. Okay. Thomas says perpetuum mobile. It sounds like Latin, but I don't speak Latin. Perpetual motion. Maybe it's perpetual motion, just going round. It's like the cycle of the seasons, isn't it? The water, the rain. No, the rain doesn't get evaporated. The rain falls on the mountains, goes into the streams, the rivers, out to the sea, and then it gets taken up in evaporation from the sun and goes over the mountains and does it again. So I'm actually fascinated by cycles, natural cycles of life, and the seasons, the moon going around the earth and the sun, the water cycle, the cycles of ovulation. I'm absolutely fascinated by those, and I think I'm planning on doing some articles on it. All the natural cycles that I can find in life, the tides, to incorporate them into my worldview. So maybe it's something to do with that. Despina says, "Oh, I met a carpenter the other day. Do you think he is my destiny? Do you think he is my destiny?" I don't know. Well, either I don't know where I should go with that. Do you need your house redoing? That could be good, wouldn't it? So Despina says, "Spin the wheel like a spider. I have lots of spider webs in my house these days." Okay, well maybe you should make like a spider and be spinning webs. What do spiders do? Spiders are very industrious. They don't ask questions. They just build their webs and wait. And if their webs get destroyed, they build them again. And that is huge as a sort of metaphor for just stop asking questions. You know, don't be existential, just do the work. It's like me with these. You won't imagine how many empty days, in other words, days without painting, I have just to produce stuff like this. It's simple to produce, and I could produce 10 times, 9 times, let's say, what I do if I only didn't wander around asking stupid questions, not getting round to it. If I was like a spider and I just did the stuff, I woke up and instead of thinking, what shall I do? I just went through, painted a few squares, then I did my next thing. Wow. Be like the spider, folks. Be like the spider. We've got another comment that's been interesting indeed. You know, my ideas may or may not be interesting, but give me yours as well. That's, you know, everybody can give me the ideas on any card. It doesn't matter. They don't belong to one person. These cards are more interesting when they are explored in a group. Yeah, I'm absolutely sure they are. Yeah, of course. Because everyone will have different ideas. So what about the dinosaur poop, prehistoric poop here, which is, of course, really a beautiful fossil. I think it's a fossil of a shell as opposed to poop. That would be pretty impressive poop, wouldn't it? So underneath that card is, this one. Oh, wow. That's kind of, well, what is it? I shouldn't say what it is, should I? I should say, what do you think it is? So this is the poopy one. This is for Thomas, I think. This is for Diane and anyone else, maybe. So what do you see in this in terms of creativity, in terms of your next creative path, or possibly something to change? I don't know. I'm making this all up. And this is number 15, 16, 17, 18. All right. So I'm going to read number 18, although I must admit I've been a little bit perplexed by the story so far. A dark house, says Despina. Yeah, well, it reminds me of it looks like a forest, actually. A forest with two lights. Could they be eyes? All right, so it's number 18, and here we go. Make of this what you will. With eyes closed, she goes down the dark, winding stairs. One step after another, she perceives some changes in her body. At first, she becomes narrow and starts to crawl like a baby. Then her face gets longer and her hair grows all over her body. She continues to go down in the shape of a beast in the darkness, and she hears the moans of desire, feels the burning hope, and sees the sparkle of terror. As she continues to go down in the dark abyss of a dream, that contains all the other dreams. So that's that. Deeper and deeper into a dream within a dream. Sounds like that movie Inception. Do you remember that? Okay, Thomas says I have to go now. Have to start and get up in 7 hours. Wow. Okay, bye-bye. See you soon, I hope. Yes, absolutely, Thomas. Thanks for watching. Get up in 7 hours, all right? Well, good luck to you. Angela. Hello, Angela. Thanks for joining. How's your knee? We talked about you. Talked about your knee. I even answered one of your questions. Well, I talked about your question. So you've missed it all. You have to watch the replay just a few minutes ago. But now we're doing this crazy thing called... what was it? Creative sacral tarot woo-woo channeling. So I'm channeling all this stuff, folks. Don't get me, I hope you realize that. It's not me saying this. It's whatever power that be is driving these words out of my mouth. So what does that say to you, Diane, in terms of your next creative move, perhaps? Any ideas coming from that? For me, I might say maybe not to be afraid of the unknown, because they might take the hood off and it might be the most exciting thing you've ever known. So challenge your preconceived ideas and try something new. Maybe that could be it. Angela, what do you think? You are channeling, Trab. You are channeling, Sab, trust me. trust you. Okay. So, Angela, what do you think of this card? Does that speak to you at all in terms of your next creative move? Hello, everybody, by the way, if you're watching this. There's a few people watching. Thank you. I'm going to move over now. That was the weirdo tarot reading thing, which I've decided to do, which is kind of fun. And I'm going to share something else now. Yoruska says, I think you have more followers with the creative tarot of Sab. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Angela says, haha, I couldn't see you earlier. Okay, well, here I am. Drinking out of a colourful lizard mug. So let me ask you a question, people. How have you been creative this week? Now, I have this new show. It's a Zoom show twice a week. It's on Monday, it's on Friday. And on the Monday, I ask, it's Zoom. So you literally come on and I see you and you can talk. And on the Monday, you say, what do you want to do that's sort of creative or that you'll be pleased with in the coming few days? On the Friday, it's the same thing. What are you pleased with having done in the last few days? Okay, that's Monday and Friday, as if I didn't do enough of these things. Today it's me, but I will talk to you, whatever you've got to say. Couldn't see you earlier. Yeah, 5 or 6 watching live. Yeah, how about that? Okay, well, let me kill the atmosphere and do something else. And this time I'm gonna share some photographs with you, shall I? Okay, so I want to know, what have you done creatively recently, folks? That's my question to you. What have you done this week that you're pleased with? I'm trying to share something here. Okay, I would like to know, what are you pleased with having done this week? Simple question. And as you answer that, I'm going to show you some pictures. I published my post, but not the one I was tormented about. Yeah, so folks, if you've just started watching, Despina was tormenting herself with a post, which she couldn't know if she was going to post it or not. Finally, she hasn't. She hasn't so far, but she published another one. Okay, well, well done for publishing a post. What was it about? Now, I'm gonna. So yeah, if you're watching, no excuses. Tell me what you're pleased with having done this week. Or if you like, what you're planning on doing next week. What are your creative plans for next week? Or what are you pleased with having done this week? This was my last chapter, okay? Almost. There's a few other new ones that have come, but this is the one that's been completed. And it was a fun one, as usual. There was, including the very controversial, very shocking, slightly shocking toilet down at the bottom there, which, you know, that was... this one I was quite pleased with, to be honest. Hang on. A giraffe and a penguin. This is what your post was about? Okay, fair enough. And I have to read that. So this one is interesting because you wouldn't expect someone who posts pictures of Paris regularly and who's known for that to post something as disgusting as a toilet with crap all over the floor and all sorts of stuff. And people crapping everywhere but in the toilet. You might think that's a bit strange, and in fact people are disappearing as I speak. So isn't that interesting? But this is the thing. Don't do what people expect you to do. How can you be original if you do that? You will get people who don't like what you do, or it might be because they don't like what you do, full stop, or it might be because they used to like what you do, and then when you do something which isn't like what they expect you to do, they get upset, they take umbrage, they're not happy. They think, what's this? Because they're not used to it. So it's a risk. I mean, you don't have to completely change everything, but, you know, throw in something that's a little bit surprising from time to time, and it'll actually help you keep your edge. You won't get boring, and, you know, I could post pretty pictures of the Eiffel Tower every day if I wanted, and I would probably have far more people watching than if I do what I do now. You know, the guy who posts a new picture of the Eiffel Tower every day, I'll probably have hundreds or thousands of people liking. I don't want that. You know, I will post pictures of the Eiffel Tower from time to time, but they won't always be pretty, and they might not be picture postcard. But anyway, yeah, and there's the others. You know, I have talked about these already, so I won't dwell on those for too long. If there's any that you're particularly interested in, let me know. I've got a few more Okay, the toilet, the famous toilet. My favourite, says Desmond. There you see. Some people will like it, some people won't. Okay, and to go along with those, the texts. That's quite a difficult word to say. Let me read one that I haven't read so far. And it's this, because it's a kind of double whammy in terms of art. It's not my art, but it's my photograph, which tried to make somebody else's art even more artistic. And Paris is full of these. You just go out, you go one arrondissement out from the centre, and you get lots of stuff on big, ugly ends of buildings. You get stuff like this. And I'll read what I said about it just for the sake of that. So, surveying the Canal Saint-Martin with a watchful eye, Captain Anchor, I call him Captain Anchor because he's got an anchor on his thing. I don't know if he's called Captain Anchor or not. Captain Anchor and his cheery cloud-encloaked chimney stack are a reassuring sight, even for us landlubbers. Once you embark in the sheltered harbour of arrondissements like districts 1 to 7 and set sail for the lesser known, if not uncharted, outlying regions, bâtiment-sized street art assails you on all sides. My own wall-conquering exploits are more modest. In other words, I'm going to put these little squares up around Paris. So they're more modest by a nautical mile, but slyly pervasive. Ahoy! Land ahoy! Infinity squared ahoy! So that was me carrying on with those, but I won't talk too much about those because I have talked about those quite a lot this week. I will move on to something else. No rest for the wicked. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do another tarot reading, and this one is, it's not really a tarot reading, but it's with my crazy creativity memes. So I'm going to ask you for a number, you give me a number, and I read you that meme, and you can see what you think. So that's another thing I'm introducing tonight. I wanted to show you this, and you might find this a bit strange or funny, but I've started something new, and it's called, it's a site, you might be interested, it's called Patreon, and it allows people to contribute to artists, to support artists in exchange for goodies. So you become an official sort of a supporter or patron of the artist. Normally it's artists, it could be musicians, it could be artists, it could be business people, but it's not really the spirit of the place. The spirit of the place is that you decide to support an artist that you appreciate, and you get something in return. So I've got one patron, my first patron. So I am very, very happy. A patron at the red level, which is very, very, affordable. And it goes up in tiers. So the tier 1 is the red level, and that will help me buy some paint and stuff like that. But, I'm not saying support me. I'm just saying this is what it is. This is how I amused myself last week. And I've done tiers going from the modest, ground level nod appreciation. And this is what you get, you see. And then the orange tier, you get more. Infinity squared yellow tier, you get more. And it goes up to, people who really want to support someone a lot. I'm just playing with numbers here. It's all for fun. And besides, I wanted to have rainbow tiers, you see, so I needed a lot of levels. So I'm kind of dreaming, up at the high levels. But there's a green level, there's a blue level, and there's a purple level. Having said that, you start getting real paintings at this level, and the paintings get bigger and bigger the tiers you go up. So it's all color-coded, all the benefits that you get at each level. At the lower levels, at the higher levels, the lower level benefits are included. So you just get more and more and more benefits. And I'll show you what some of those are. And there's a rainbow level. So if you would like to, contribute $1,000 to me every month, then even if it's just for 1 month, if it's just for 1 month, you won't get like the big paintings and stuff, but you eventually will. There you go. All of those things you get. So for example, at the red level, if you wanted to support me at €3 a month, I feel your support burning like a hot fire inside. At level red, you enjoy the following benefits. You become a member of the Infinite Creativity Clan. This is something that you get to on this site only. There's plenty of stuff I do for free, you know that, and that's fine. Just take part in that. But this is, for supporters who literally want to support me in a way which will help me buy more paintbrushes and paints and canvases. But you get benefits which other people don't. So you are part of the Infinite Creativity clan. I was born in Scotland. Clans come from Scotland. They wear kilts, probably play bagpipes, imitate Mel Gibson wearing blue war paint and killing, English people and stuff like that. So I called it the Creativity Clan as a kind of, I was born in Scotland. I'm Scottish by origin. You get a personalised welcome video. So I personally do a video thanking you for supporting me. And you are acknowledged as a supporter. So, it's a public thing. So I appreciate you publicly. You get a stimulating Paris memes pack. So I put together some of my memes in a pack, which I will send to you. And you get regular community updates. In other words, it's updates on my work specifically for members of the Infinite Creativity clan, which I don't put elsewhere. So it's behind the scenes stuff, So I will tell you what I'm up to in my painting and stuff. To be honest, stuff that other people maybe wouldn't want to know. So that's what it's about. I've got some comments coming in. Despina says number 3. Oh, okay, that's for the other tarot thing. Okay, I'll hold on to that in my head. My favourite is the cartoon. I like the colour contrast. I can also imagine a story with Super Sab. Super Sab! Yep. It wouldn't be super angular at this moment, would it? If you could fly, you wouldn't have to walk. That's good. All right, I've got... Angela says, this week I read more books. Okay, yeah, I'm not surprised. I was not in the mood to create with paints, colours, etc. I don't blame you. And a little bit with photos. This is a new week. Yeah, okay, well, Angela. Yeah, so are you reading a particularly good book that you would like to share with us? That'll be interesting. Yeruska says, I do not understand well. I can buy all this for a month, or must it be several months? Oh, Yeruska, you don't have to do this, Ce n'est pas nécessaire. Ce n'est pas nécessaire. C'est pour m'amuser, c'est pour jouer. This is per month, and you can stop anytime. So it's €3 a month, every month until you stop. Okay, so it's a support. It's to support your local friendly Parisian artist. That's what it is. Donc c'est tous les mois et tu arrêtes quand tu veux. So for example, yeah, and then at the orange level, which is €9 a month, plus VAT, I'm afraid, your support makes me feel fruity and free. I'll get onto the second tarot in a minute. I'll just show you a couple more levels. This one and the next one. At level orange, you enjoy the following benefits. So there's the level red level benefits, and then you get an infinity squared puzzle pack. Not every month, just one. Monthly creative coaching. Now this is a group call, a Zoom call on creative coaching for everybody at the orange level. Inspirational yearly calendar. So you get a calendar. Actually, let me show you. At the orange level, for €9 a month plus VAT, you'll get a calendar. This is from a couple of years ago. It'll look something like this. This was when I did one for Creative Business Mind, my business thing. But it'll be for creativity. There'll be creative memes here and the calendar there. Okay, so there'll be a new creative meme for each month to inspire you all month. And I'll show you a couple of them later. They might be included. So you get that. You get a weekly backstage pass video. This is a video, not just a written thing. Level red, you get a written thing. Level orange, you get a video, a backstage video, only for you guys. I mean, for the patrons, for the Creativity Clan, where I do a video telling you what I'm up to in my creative life. And you get a complete post-vault access to all the posts I've put in the Creativity Clan, and 9 ninja creativity tips. So this is, yeah, I think you get that if you're part of the newsletter as well, but that's in there. And you get an inspiring creative memes pack. Okay, so you get a pack of my crazy creative memes to inspire you. Okay, so I'm putting together some of the stuff that I've created into packs for these. And then at the €27 a month level, you get quarterly Infinity Squared puzzle pack. You get an Infinity Squared painting. So you actually get a painting, which is 9 of these. And you get a one-on-one coaching every year. That's one-on-one pure coaching, which normally costs a lot of money. And, well, it depends, it's relative. And a 15% discount on the masterclasses. And so it goes on. You see, I won't, you don't have to look at all that. It's fun. It's supposed to be fun, okay? It's fun if you want to take part. And obviously, I appreciate it incredibly. And the address is patreon.com/𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Paris. Okay, that's enough of that. Let me do another tarot thing, but this time it's a different one. So it's not with these cards, that was fun, wasn't it? It was kind of fun. It's with my creative memes. So I'm going to share another screen with you. If I can find it. Here we go. All right, so give me a number between 1 and 36. A number between 1 and 36. So, Despina, you gave me number 3. So, I'm going to read you number 3. Despina, are you still there? This is going to be your meme. That's interesting. It's the only one that I put the black background on, and it was before I did the proper series, is it? Let's have a look. Okay, so this is your... Just going to make this a little bit bigger. So this is your creative meme. This was the first one I did in the Crazy Creative series. Can you believe it? Hi, Despina. Yeah, so I'll read it and you take from it what you will, and I'll try and explain it as well if need be, because sometimes I don't understand what I wrote myself. We're incorrigibly creative creatures. Think about it. The ultimate creative act created you and me and everyone. The ultimate creative act. Two people coming together to create a life. So, don't fight your creative spark. Go out and create your ideal life, or someone else's. So this is about realizing not just that we all have creativity inside us. Sorry, I'm just looking at Angela, in case. Maybe Despina should say what she thinks of it before I say what I think of it. The word for world is forest. Oh, this is the book you're reading, Angela. The word for world is forest. Ursula Le Guin. The word for world is forest. That's interesting. That's really good. I wonder what it's about. You know, I read recently that scientists have now definitely conclusively proven that trees have their own highly adapted way of communicating and passing information between each other, between all the trees in a forest, for example. It's called WhatsApp. WhatsApp. Gallery 212. Do I know you? Can I know who you are? Because there's no photograph and there's a. I'm guessing your parents didn't call you Gallery 212. Number 13. Okay, let's go for it. Yeah, let me know who you are if you would like to. You know, you don't have to, but it's nicer when I have a human behind the little person icon. So that was number 3. What do you see in that? So for me, you tell me what you see in it. For me, it was about realizing that we don't just have creative aspects to us. Oh, okay, hang on. Okay. So I think this was in my mind subconsciously when I published my new post. Not fight my creativity. Thank you for the reminder. You know, it goes further. We don't have a choice. We are creativity. This is what I think. We are creativity. We don't have a choice. We can't not be creative. It's just that sometimes we forget, or we hide it, or we don't bother exploiting it. But nobody has to find their creativity. It's in us. We just have to let it out. And for that, you just have to start doing something, which start doing something vaguely creative, and then you'll be creating. So so that for me, that's off the books. It's not an issue, you know. It's whether you choose to be creative on a regular basis or not. It's not whether you can or not. So one of the main things that I do with people that I work with or play with is get them to be creative anyway, you know, even if they say they're not. Oh, you're not? Okay, well be creative. We'll do something creative anyway, you know, take this pen and draw it, wiggle it across this page and do something, you know, even if it's a dot, which reminds me of one of my most favorite books of all time, called The Dot. And it's exactly that. The teacher says, oh, because little Johnny or something was not happy because or the girl, I think it was, she couldn't draw. Oh, you can't draw? Okay, well just do anything. And then the kid slams the pencil onto the paper, boom, as a dot. And said, see, I told you I can't draw. The teacher appreciates the dot, puts it on the wall behind her desk, and long story short, the kid becomes an internationally famous artist of amazing, incredible dots of all sizes and shapes. Anyway, so that's my thing, you know, not that we don't have creativity, it's this, do we choose to be creative or not? And I think we should. That's my thing. Kit, hi Kit, I don't think I know you, but hi Kit. Kit is watching on YouTube. I've got a YouTube viewer because my others are on Facebook. I'm glad you found me, Kit. Really happy to have you here, and thanks for playing. I do this most Sundays in case you're interested. So note that address. You could even like my channel because I've only got about 13, and when I get up to 100 I can change the name from, you know, Z3FFG97 to something cool. We are creative. You say it all the time. I consume it all the time, and I just surrender sometimes. Yeah. Surrender. Surrender to your own creativity. That's an interesting concept, isn't it? I'm not sure about surrender. There's this woman, I watch her videos sometimes, and she's got this huge sign behind, like the size of this space here that you can see my hand moving in. And it says, surrender! And it looks like it's been written in blood or something. And I find that a little bit disconcerting, you know. I know we kind of should surrender in a way, but I don't really like the word surrender. It sounds like I'm giving in, you know. It's like I'm giving over my power to someone else. So I'm not a fan of that. If it works for other people, the word surrender, then sure, you know, surrender to the greater power, blah, blah, blah. Fine. If that works for people, cool. It's a bit like me just letting the muse speak to me. You know, when I go to Paris, I never have an agenda. If you don't know me, I publish a Paris photograph every day. It's supposed to be kind of creative. Creative writing comes from that. When I go to Paris, do I have a plan? 99 times out of 100, no. I might have something in mind that I want to photograph, and I might get that photograph. But it will probably be different to how I thought it would be, and I'll get a ton of other photographs that I wasn't expecting. So I call the Eiffel Tower Lady Eiffel. I call her my muse. So that's like, you know, that's like surrender to the power of the universe, wherever ideas live. You know, I surrender to wherever ideas live all the time. Angela says, it's a theoretical book on theatre. Okay, because Angela, you're an actress amongst other things. Written by one of my favourite Greek directors named 𝗜𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗧𝗜𝗍. Tzolakidis. Perfect pronunciation, I'm sure you agree. Great, reading about theatre. Did you hear the story of Miro? Well, tell me. I mean, briefly. Tell me what it is. Because I don't know which story you might be referring to. Miro is one of my favourite artists. Really love what he did in his later years. Yeah. Just playing with blobs and stuff. I've actually got a mug, which is, you'd say it was a Miro painting. Amazing. All right, so I had another number. Kit gave me number 13. Let's do it. So I'm going to count down. They're not actually perfect pronunciation of the Greek name. Yeah, I'm sure. Well, thanks. I was married and divorced to one of those, whose name was 𝗜𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗔𝗡𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Yeah. So 13. I haven't labelled them with numbers. They're with the numbers of my Paris Photo Chronicles, so bear with me. Count with me if you like. Count along a sab. A 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, you just missed the rainbow. And 13. Here it is. So this is number 13. Kit, it's your personal meme. I've drawn it for you. See what you think as we read this together. What ideas come to you, especially about your creativity in relation to your creativity. I'm getting into this woo-woo tarot thing. It's pretty cool. When you really can't think of anything to paint... Oh, they rhyme. Sorry, hang on. When you really can't think of anything to paint, write or play, there's a rhythm to them, and I don't know what it is. I've forgotten it. So it slightly annoys me. But anyway, when you really can't think of anything to paint, write or play, write or paint anyway. Your brain just wants something fun to do. Give it a field day. Okay, it's bugging me because I haven't got the rhythm. It had a beautiful rhythm to it and it's nowhere. But I'm ruining it for you guys. Sorry about that. So, when you really can't think of anything to paint, write or play, write or paint anyway. This is exactly what we just said. Your brain just wants something fun to do. Give it a field day. So my theory is, well, what does that say to you, Kit? Does that speak to you, as we say, as they say? For me, to kind of fill the space between the time lag and the typing, which you're obviously doing now, aren't you? It's that just getting in action will bring creativity out. You just need to be in action. Your brain wants you to be in action. Your brain also doesn't like changing. So if you're doing something boring, like watching TV, like something consuming, you're consuming content, you'll probably carry on doing that. Your brain doesn't really want to change. It's fun, like reading a book, watching TV. But the good news is it works both ways. When you're creating, your brain also doesn't seem to want to stop. When you're in the flow, don't disturb me, get out of my face. I'm creating, I'm working. Even though you're actually having fun, you say, I'm working, but you know that you're playing. And that's a good space to be in. So the thing is to get in action in the direction you want to be in, and then the brain will take over, or the spirit world will take over, and you'll forget that it was even difficult to start. So that's my thing, have a way of starting your painting or writing or dancing or acting or playing, which is so easy that you don't even have to think about it. Like I've got some stuff on these, the last ones of these that I did. I knew I was going to paint this thing in brown. Actually, I'll show it to you. It's much more interesting. Back in a sec. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm back from the other side of the palace. So I'll show you. I've only bought 4 of them. 4 pieces of the 9-piece puzzle. So let me show you. Hey, I'm going to be really clever. Despina is probably typing the story of... I don't want a long thing, just a quick anecdote, please, of Miro, Spanish, Catalonia. Kit says, yes, I've been stagnating for quite a while. Just start, Kit. Just start. Anything. So this is how I'm going to try and show that, how I do that. Right, this is I always paint on 9 squares. Like the one behind me, you see, is 9 squares. And they all connect together, and there's no beginning and no end. They're magic. They're called infinity squared puzzle paintings. And here's 4 from one that I'm working on now. You see, 4 squares. And they fit together, you see? That fits there. That fits there. Okay, so they all fit together. And I knew I wanted to get going, and I needed something incredibly simple. And I thought, well, all I've got, this was white. This thing, which is part of the old Paris Circular Railway, which I took from a sleeper. So if you get one of my paintings, it's got a piece of Paris in it, apart from my heart and soul. And all I had to do was paint it brown. So how difficult was that? Well, it wasn't difficult. I literally, remember, it was white. That was white. That was white. I got the paintbrush, I opened the brown paint, I stuck the paintbrush into the brown paint, and I started going like this on top of this thing. You know, you couldn't genuinely call it an incredible level of, you know, technique needed to do that, but it got me in action. I was sitting down, I had my cup of tea, herbal tea actually. My paintbrush was in my hand, it had paint on, the paint pot was open, and I was putting paint on this. That's it, I was in the flow, and then I didn't want to stop. Do something so simple that you don't notice that you've started. You know, do the old, you know, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm painting, you know, 5, stand up. 4, go to your painting desk. 3, pick up the paint brush. 2, open the paint tube. 1, stick the paint brush in the paint tube. 0, put a bit of paint on the thing, on whatever your thing is on. That's it, it'll work. 𝗬𝗡𝗙𝗜𝗓 said, I thought you said the story of the dot student at school. The story of 𝗓𝗏. I thought you said the dot story is one of my favourite all-time stories. And I thought I had it here actually. Have I got it here? I thought I had it here for reference because it's so powerful. I can't find it. The dot, where are you, the dot? No, I can't find the dot book. So it's, yeah, anyway. But I don't know who the story of 𝗓𝗏 is. 𝗓𝗏. Here's the story of 𝗓𝗏. Okay, creativity might be a scary word. How are we doing for time? Oh, better finish up soon. Creativity might be a scary word. It is thought that you should create a 𝗓𝗏 painting. You mean I should? Or in general, creating a 𝗓𝗏 painting is a good idea? You know what? God, I'm really going to do some 𝗓𝗏 type stuff soon because I just love his stuff. It's so simple, but I love it. And you know, even something which doesn't seem to have much sense, that's why I love abstract painting. When you put a piece of paint on a canvas, that has just recorded a moment of your life. It's just as valid, just as profound as when you look at a Van Gogh painting and you can see every single brush stroke, or more likely knife stroke, and you know that he did it. He was there, where you're standing, putting that there. Then he put the next one and the next one. That is so powerful for me. I feel like a chill in my cheeks, you know, knowing that I was that close to him in relation to this painting in another lifetime. It's really quite strange. So I don't feel embarrassed about abstract art. In fact, abstract art moves me more, actually, than realistic things. You know, I look at a picture of a horse and I think, yeah, nice picture of a horse. And next. But if I look at someone's just, you know, just huge canvas with bits of colour and a slash or something, I think, wow, I can feel that slash. You know, I can feel when he did that or she did this, you know. In general, I mean, we hear creativity and we think of works of art, not just little important for us works of our art. In general, I mean, we hear creativity and we think of works of art, not just little works of our art. Yeah, but you know, there's no point comparing. I gave up comparing a long time ago. I purposely don't do like qualifications that I could go for. I've given them up, you know. I have no inclination whatsoever to learn from anyone other than people who do it on a regular basis and are fun to listen to, you know, in terms of learning. Works for coaching, works for painting, works for anything I might want to get better at. Just do it and immerse yourself in that world. Look at other people that do it, see what they do, talk to them, share your stuff, don't be embarrassed, and you'll get better in your eyes. But still don't compare yourself, you know, still don't compare yourself. Don't compare, just do stuff. Just do stuff. And show it. And don't be embarrassed. And most people will love it, appreciate it, or possibly be envious. That's the thing that people do. Some might criticize it, but that means that they've got a lot of problems and insecurities. If you feel the need to criticize something, well, I don't know, I'm just wondering if I criticize things. I might, but you know, I might laugh at them, but I still appreciate the fact that they've done something. You know, that's the main thing, to have a go. I will always appreciate someone who has tried to do something which they think is creative. It doesn't have to be beautiful, it doesn't have to be world-shattering. You know, if your kid, it's a good example. Can you imagine your kid brings us some sort of odd picture that they've done at school for you? You know, I mean, would you ever in a million years look at it and think, well, it's okay, but I was at the Louvre Museum last week, and you know, if that's supposed to be a horse, well, you know, look, how can I say this? You know, of course you wouldn't. Of course you wouldn't. So don't ever do that with anybody's, unless you're an art critic or you're running an art school and someone really does want to paint better horses instead of a horse that looks, you know, like that with a with a stick up there for a head. Okay, so 𝗜𝗡𝗙𝗓 going, and I think I'm going to go soon as well. See you on Monday. Good night, my dear Sab. See you on Monday. Good night, my dear 𝗜𝗡𝗙. Bisous, 𝗜𝗡𝗙, and we've got 𝗜𝗡𝗙 saying goodbye. Okay, well that's almost going to be my cue, to be honest. We did a couple of these fun tarot things, and we did the new one with my new tarot cards, which was kind of fun as well. I think I'll carry on with those. And we looked at my photographs, I told you what I was up to, and you told me some things that you were up to. So that's been good. I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much for taking part. You know, without you, I'd be talking to myself. Done it before. So I can get you in the mood for next week already, you know. Look at the groups that you might be interested in, contribute to them, and give me some questions or things that you've been creative on recently. Tomorrow I'll be doing my get-together on Zoom, if you're interested in that, and there'll be another one on Friday. Tuesday is my photography chat, like this. Thursday is my writing chat. Today's the day group is great. I do something for that on Fridays. Saturday I don't do anything, except I do, because we have a smartphone photography masterclass going. It's just massive creativity non-stop. It's amazing. You're amazing. Thank you for being part of my creative universe and for letting me be part of yours. And I'll talk to you again very, very soon. Bye for now. From me and from the cat's gone. I'm going to go and eat something now. Not the cat. Bye for now, everyone. Thanks for watching. Oh, cat's coming back in. Bye-bye, cat. Bye-bye. No, I've got nothing for you. Nothing else for you. She's coming for a little leg stroke. Okay, bye for now, folks. Bye for now.